Hello guys, we are still in France, the city called Chartres, and I think ideally I would like to be in the middle of nature to record a video, but this will have to do. Let me talk. I did have something I wanted to talk about, which was the what I wanted to talk about was basically what is the self? Like my insights into the nature of the self. In short, I think the self is that which sheds away, and that which acquires, and that which believes, and that which disbelieves, and all manner of movement and all manner of rest is my interpretation on the substance of self. The self is a very almost ghostly thing, almost non-existent, even though it is the height of reality, is the self. And the self certainly exists, and if anything exists, it is the self. And if anything exists beyond the self, it is by leave of the self. It is because the self has ordained it such, and has interpreted it such, that it exists in such fashion. This is the self and its objects, the subject and its objects. Something else I wanted to talk about was the dissolution of false selves, or a false self. I had been building up a self for so long, and I had grown addicted to its presentation in this particular form, which was the way in which it was presenting itself in the world, and I grew addicted to that. And my project now is to dissolve the self, not in order to not have a self, but in order to uncover the eternal, the actual substance of the self, the thing which was built, the thing which acquired, not the things that were acquired, but the thing which acquires. That's what I want to uncover. And there are some things which are central to my tasks as this person, and central to how I identify because I do need to have a means of identifying myself in the world. So I have these tasks, and I have these ways in which I maintain the integrity of these tasks. And so for those, they have their routines and their disciplines and their actions, and I consciously encompass these things. I consciously gather them into myself and distribute them in the manner which is most fitting for the realization of that identity. But there are so many things which are just superfluous and just added garments and layers, and all of these elements which are just totally just total additions and can totally be replaced and are illusory. And I think I've almost gone mad. I've definitely gone crazy recently. I think in this couple of weeks alone, probably lost my mind a couple of times, and it is just so. It is something which is it really shatters the mind. You know what I mean? The mind almost loses its unity, but I sense that uh, it is the unity of the mind is being clarified, and the unity of the mind is being polished, and all of the additional things, the superfluous elements, the facets, the things brought in from elsewhere, all of those are beginning to vanish. And of course there's a lot of fear and dread involved with that, because for so long you've been identifying yourself with these things, and they've become the self, the soul, the spirit, the identity has been falsely attributed to these things, has falsely just to see if I can speak in like a clear way where I can talk with a distinction, like I can just clearly distinguish things one from the other. Let's see if there's another place which is better for me. But let's just leave it here. Let's just perfectly block the sun. So the self is a conglomerate of rituals and routines and happenings and events, and this is not true. And yes, you know, there certainly are good activities, and they can be pursued to their uttermost. But even those things, like even like reading, can be go to such excess and can be pursued so violently that one really can lose himself in these very sublime things, and it's just as bad. It's horrible. See, I would like to talk in a way where I'm not really giving advice or teaching or instructing, because I think that is necessarily false, because I am an individual contained within my individuality, and all I can say are words and language, and this is the ether which allows for this interconnectedness of consciousness and human minds and human persons. So I use language because that is the instrument, and it is a great instrument, and I don't at all deny the divinity of language. But I do recognize, or I do confess to its limitation and its finite capacity. And there certainly are realities that are unintelligible. Not necessarily unintelligible, but intelligible by means beyond the intellect. And there are certainly realities which are necessity, realities which bewilder, and there is not a problem with that, as long as one enters into it and does not insist on grasping it in a way which is inappropriate to grasp. Yes, indeed. There are many ways in which a man is a man. Even the book and its word can consume one, can swallow one whole. And many a time have I been consumed by ideas and by the book and by words. And these are incredible divine things, but these things should be pursued to an end. I don't know if I'm trying to make any sense. At least I'm trying to put things together and say things which will set something going inside the one who's listening, which he's already developed within himself, knowingly or unknowingly. I'm not really trying to teach or say anything. I don't intend to ever do that. I think I'm too much possessed of many. I'm too much under the weight of confusion in incomprehensible magnitudes. Confusion is something which is I am a man full of confusions, and I live with confusion. So I don't teach. And it is the responsibility of each man to uncover his own soul and to thrust away his own weight, which is his own self, falsely recognized. That is the weight that he's carrying. It is a falsely recognized, posited, illusory self, which is mere additions and mere superfluities and mere fictions and mere imaginations and tales. This is the false self, and this is the work of each man. Firstly, to build the self up, because man only grows in the reality of his mistakes. And it is up to each man to thrust this behemoth fiction into the void from which it came. I don't know if I've said anything useful. I speak from the impulse, just the raw material of the intuition of an idea, and I have no plans. I had no intention of saying anything. Whatever I said was a gift of the innermost soul. This video is 15 minutes and I had no idea. I wonder what I said. I actually have no memory of anything that I said. I have a memory that I spoke about the self and I said some things and I spoke at a great length. And I vaguely stuck to one topic. But my memory is a shrewd one. It is one which is obliterating in two directions. It is one which is moving forwards and backwards at equal velocities, and moving nowhere all the time. But this is okay because I intend to be free of memory and its tricks and its whims and its deceits and its perversions, how it perverts and distorts the seeing eye, how would rather exist in the perpetuum of now, the reality of now. And I'm not like a cringy spiritualist. I don't impose this label. I don't impose this category on reality. What this thing is that people call spirit and spirituality, I think is just the simple fact of reality. It is just a simple thing. It is just a simple thing. The simple thing which is apparent. Just the simple. That's what it is. The simple. The simplest thing that is in the simplest thing which is the thing which is presented in front of man. But alright, we'll end this video. I'll see you guys. You guys want to see in a very, very beautiful area. Let's see if I can, or maybe this video will just be too long if I try to like show you guys that. Alright guys, I'll see you guys later. And if anybody like likes this video, just like comment and just tell me, or else I'll just stop talking. I'll go back to the silence from where I came. I was just in this seemingly infinite expanse of silence, and I've just recently come out of it. It was a dreadful region with its own joys and its own blisses, but it was generally dreadful. But now I'm in the stretch and expanse of speech, and I intend to enter into it so long as it is of any meaning and has any worth to anybody. That's the only way I will persist in the realm of speech. But other than that, guys, just tell me if you guys have anything. If you guys are like this, just tell me, okay, guys? Just speak to me. I'm nothing. I'm not saying that in a falsely humble way. But really, you guys could only know. If you guys only knew my soul and its troubles and its confusions. So just tell me, guys. Okay, bye.